to all. In the previous video, you might have listened what are the problems that teachers are facing in classroom, and one of the strategy is case study. So in today's discussion, we are going to discuss case study as a method in classroom research. To elaborate on this topic, we have with us Dr. Sukhvinder. Let I introduce the expert. Dr. Sukhvinder is Associate Professor in Geography in Educational Survey Division at NCERT, New Delhi. He is working in the area of social science education, assessment and evaluation, and conduct large-scale surveys such as National Achievement Survey and identification of talented students. He has rich and varied experience of 2.5 decades working in various research institutions and other educational institutions. He is closely associated with IGNOU for several academic activities. Welcome, Dr. Sukhvinder.
Thank you, ma'am.
In this video, we will discuss classroom research, emphasizing upon case study as a research method, and then what is a case study, why do we conduct case study, how to identify cases in classroom, types of information used in a case study, organizations of a case study, or the steps what are included in a case study. After watching this video, you should be able to describe the techniques of classroom research, describe the meaning of case study, explain the importance of case study in conducting classroom research, list out the types of information collected for conducting case study, facilitate the teachers to undertake case study in classrooms. Okay, sir. For the time being, I want to ask you the first question that what do you mean by a case?
Yeah. So, Dr. Elizabeth has raised a very pertinent question about the case study method where, say, we will be beginning what is case. So, say, why case study, what is case, it has all related to the classroom research, right? And when we are conducting classroom research, say, for the benefit of all our prospective teachers and to recall some of the points related to classroom research, that it's a small scale research conducted by a teacher or group of teachers in classroom in order to resolve academic, behavioral and emotional problems of the children. So when a teacher has to resolve these academic, behavioral, emotional problems of the children, the very first thing is that identification of a particular person. So, see, when we are identifying a particular person, we are categorizing that person as a case. So, say pinpointedly, what we can say that a case is a one which has special characteristics.
Yes.
So, let's list out some of the attributes of a case, right? And the very first thing is that a case has special characteristics.
Yes.
In your class, say you may have noticed that one student, a particular student is very active, very hyperactive, and he is very prominent in addressing issues related to higher order thinking skills, very keen. And then a person, say, is different from the normal, right? So he's not part. He's a part of a group, but he is unique. Right? Unique with certain attributes. And second thing is that a case is small in number. In a class of 40, you will be encountering one or two persons, those who are having special attributes, right? So in a classroom scenario, what we can say that case has special characteristics, it's different from the normal and it's small in number, right? And it may be an individual in a classroom, a person, or an institute. So I think students, they are well aware of the attributes of a case, and this will help you in identification of cases in your classroom. And now, when it comes to the case study method, so students must have learned about case study methods in research methodology. So when we are taking up case studies, so maybe our case is a person, it may be a group, or we will be understanding or studying in detail about an event or about a community. But when it comes to case in classroom, we are mainly confined with a student or group of students. So for a prospective teacher or for a teacher, case in classroom refers to a student or group of students.
Okay, then how can we perceive case study as a unit of analysis?
Yeah, so as I've conveyed you that as a unit of analysis, cases can be a person, group, location, organization or event. So as a teacher, we are more concerned about persons, and persons in our scenario, they refer to group of students. So we will move on to case study now.
Yes.
So when it comes to case study, so it is in-depth study, and in this we study as a whole. So we select one particular case and we study 360-degree multi-dimensional aspects of that particular case. And in this, a single entity studies, or what we can say that an individual is being studied thoroughly, right? So what we do, we conduct a systematic inquiry, say related to a person in this case, and in most of the cases, the case studies are descriptive. We try to collect descriptive analysis, descriptive data of that particular case. We describe it and we try to arrive at some possible solutions to overcome those problems. And it is used for studying the behavioral problems of maladjusted or a deviant individual. So in our previous session, you must have looked into that there are different problems faced by the teacher like academic, socio-emotional or behavioral. So these aspects can be very well sorted out, can be very well resolved with the help of case study.
As a teacher, there will be a pertinent question in their mind. How can they identify a case in their classroom?
Yeah. So teachers time again they may encounter this particular question that whenever we have to conduct a case study, how can I identify a case in my classroom? So identification of case is the very first step of conducting case study. So now whether you are a science teacher or social science teacher, mathematics teacher or a yoga teacher or a physical education teacher, when you are interacting with the students, you must have noticed several situations and you must have noticed a particular pertinent behavior of a particular student.
Yes.
Right? So let's list out some of the examples. So this will facilitate you to identify cases in your classroom. So you must have noticed that there are students those who can solve test items of higher order thinking skills. If you are dealing with mathematics, probably there are students there they are very quick in solving numerical problems or statement related problems which others cannot. And then there are students also those who can solve questions which we consider as tough questions or which requires logical thinking, creativity or reasoning. Then at the same time there are certain students those continuously make mistakes. You may point out that say maybe with respect to spellings or maybe with respect to sentence structure or maybe with respect to solving certain mathematics questions. So you will notice that students continuously and regularly they make the same mistakes. As a teacher, you must have pointed out that this is a mistake, this is how you should resolve, but no, there is no way out. And in spite of your reminders, in spite of your suggestions, in spite of your advice, students continue to make mistakes. So those can be probably your cases for studies. Then a student who answers the question very promptly and with accuracy, a student who helps other students to learn. So we know that a feeling of empathy is very important for a student. It's not only for teachers but also for students, because after all, human beings are human beings. They are social animals. They have to depend on each other and they have to learn from each other. And in a class of 40, say there must be one or two students, those who are very readily in a position to help the teachers and readily help the students also, to help the peer group also. So maybe what is so special about them, why they are behaving in that particular manner where other students are not behaving in that manner, may be a matter of concern for you. And a student who is irregular in the class, or one can say that in the change scenario of COVID-19, when we are having online classes, you may have noticed that one particular student or a group of students in your class, they are not attending online classes. So you may zero down on those students, you may work on those, you may select them as their cases and try to resolve their concerns. And a student whose performance in all the subjects is below satisfactory level, right? He's not able to perform well in mathematics, science, social sciences, languages, and in other subjects. And continuously, after discussion with the fellow teachers, those who are dealing with different subjects, you come to know that, okay, a particular student is not good or is not performing well in almost all the subjects. Probably that student needs your attention and that student may be a case for your further studies.
So rightly you have pointed that generally we may think that a case includes only the negative cases.
Yeah.
But there are positive cases like that. The gifted learners, they also need some kind of attention and some kind of research we have to conduct upon them. And next, when we are doing this case study, could you please elaborate what are the steps involved in case study?
Yeah. So our teachers now, they are well equipped with say conducting research in their classrooms. They are aware of research methods also, and they are acquainted with several strategies also. And this case study is one of the strategy of resolving your classroom issues. So when it comes to these steps, say it also follow in the same line of conducting basic research. And there are several sequential steps like determining the status of the situation. And in this case, we need to identify the problem, right? We need to identify the case. Once the case is identified, we need to identify the problems faced by a particular student. How you will identify the particular problems? Then you will go for collection of data and then examining case history of the student. So I'll come to that part also. What do you mean by case history and how data is collected for conducting case study? Then identification of the causal factors and diagnosis by formulation of hypothesis. So once say probable causes are listed out, then you need to verify whether these are the causes, and these causes are causal factors will be understood with the help of data which you have collected. And then of course you will be providing them with some treatment, you will be counseling them, you will be providing some sort of intervention, and then once intervention is provided, once counseling is provided, once they are treated by the counselor or by the teacher, then we need to have a follow-up program. And then we will come to know that whether the issues are resolved or still pertaining. If the issues are resolved, fine, well and good. If they are not resolved, once again teacher has to follow the same cycle by following different strategies. And by following these steps, I think to teachers, they will be able to conduct the case study in their classrooms.
Next one, how data can be collected in a case study?
Yeah. So Dr. Elizabeth, as I have stated that this conducting a case study, you need to identify the case. And if prospective teachers, they can have a look at the screen. So probably you can see an image which resembles that this is a particular case which a teacher has identified. Now, the very next step is that you need to collect data, and what kind of data can be collected for a particular case. It may be starting with the personal details like the name of the candidate, name of the student, name of the case, then gender, age group, then health record. Health record may have different aspects like what is the height of the child, weight, whether the child is malnourished or healthy. So all these aspects will be there, and then there will be certain aspects related to family background. What is the size of the family? How many siblings are there? What is the birth order of the case? And what are the qualifications and occupations of parents, mother and father? Then details information about neighbors, friend circle, and the relationship amongst various members of the family. And apart from that, we may also be interested in the location of residence where the child is staying, whether it's in urban area, semi-urban area, rural area, because all these aspects have some bearing on the personality of the case. And apart from that, so researcher may also like to know the academic aspects. What is the performance level of the students? Then how much he or she has performed in different subject areas? What are her interests, aptitudes, and attitudes? So with these personal details, one will be able to arrive at some meaningful conclusions. Now you will certainly ask a question that from where you collect this sort of data, because I have listed out so many things, and they are very varied in nature, like academic aspect, interest, aptitude, and family details. Probably a teacher needs to depend on official records which are readily available in the schools. Teacher may develop questionnaires with the help of other teachers. He or she may design interview schedules, and the teacher's personal observations plays a major role, and they can be self-appraisal for the case, and the teacher may also go through the documents like diaries and portfolios which the student must have submitted. So with these personal details and data sources, teacher or case the one who is taking case study develops history of the case, where he or she has to tell the exact problem of the case, what is the duration, symptoms, consultation done with the guidance and counselor, whether he or she has contacted medical doctor if any medical problems are there, and in case doctor has suggested some treatments, what are those? So this case history will help you to finally come to the meaningful conclusions there.
Then after the collection of the data, normally there will be a doubt how to present the report in an effective way.
Yeah. So report writing is an important aspect of case study, because here you are detailing everything right from identification of the case, and you are also providing history of the case, what sorts of methodology you have used, how you have collected the data, what all attributes you have collected, what were your possible hypotheses, which help you in arriving at the particular solution, and finally you conclude whether it's set for further counseling or it needs further treatment or the matter is closed here. So this report writing, let me tell you one thing, that it is slightly different from any other research report which we are writing. So it does not have all those aspects which we have listed under writing the formal research report or action research report. So here, say report writing for case study is slightly different, and teacher needs to look into these four major aspects: personal details of the case, history of the case, procedure of the data collection, and finally conclusion. And if a teacher take care of these 4 points, probably this will be a kind of a comprehensive report, and this comprehensive report will not only help that particular teacher but also help the entire group of teachers, those who are dealing with the similar kind of problems.
Okay. Then at the last word, whether you want to tell something to the teachers how this case study, how it influences the teachers when they do like that? What are the advantages?
Yeah. See, as it is said that every problem has a solution, and we initiated our discussion with that. And suppose these problems are not attended regularly or not attended timely, then what will happen? Teacher will be stressed, teachers will be strained, and they will not be happy, they will be dissatisfied because the things are not moving the way it has to move. And these obstacles, these glitches, these hindrances, create obstacle for achieving the learning levels amongst all the students. I am saying all the students because we did not leave any one student in the classroom. We should reach to the last student of our class. So with this target, so teacher will be helping himself to achieve the targets, and at the same time teacher will be helping his or her peer group, those who are not able to take up the case study, but with the help of others' wisdom, with the help of others' work, teacher will be able to resolve their issues. So I think a teacher must certainly take up these strategies like case studies to overcome classroom problems in a given situation.
Okay, in this video program, you have understood what is case study, what are the characteristics of case study, what are the steps included in case study, and how to conduct a case study. Hope that you are motivated to conduct case study in your classroom.